Well, welcome, friends, to Online Steps to Success. I always cut myself off at the beginning. It's fine. Welcome to Online Steps to Success, where my goal is always to help you work smart. Well, I'm saying it wrong. Listen, I can't even say my own tagline. Dream big, work smart, change yourself, and change the world with your business. And we have been talking about time management for the last several weeks. And if you missed any of those videos, you can go check them out. We have videos on how to use Google Calendar to schedule and time block and all sorts of things. We have videos on big picture planning, which I highly recommend. You need some time and space to do that one, but you can see all those videos. But today we are talking about what honestly I think if this is the only one you watch, it's going to be helpful to you. We're going to talk about rest and why it's vital to your time management and your productivity. So my name is Allison Dalkey. I'm glad that you're here. And I have been on a learning about rest journey for the past 5 years, I think, probably 5 years. So I will say that the biggest thing that has changed my business, that has changed my marriage, my family, is prioritizing rest. And specifically, what that looks like in our house is that we started practicing the Jewish tradition of Sabbath, or really Shabbat, which is practicing honoring the Sabbath, a few years ago. And I heard some really incredible podcasts about it. Actually, it came as a suggestion from a friend, and she offered up this, kind of suggested, are you guys like practicing Sabbath? And I was like, no, what do you mean? And so I did some digging. She referred me to this podcast, which I will link in the notes. But it radically transformed everything about our lives, and not only our personal lives, but also our business. And that's what I want to talk specifically about today. And so, even if this is not a video about Sabbath. This is a video about rest and about the principles that I learned about rest through learning how to practice Sabbath. So, one of the things that I hear so many people say all the time is there's just not enough time in the day, right? I have all these things to do and there's just not enough time. And what we see is that women running businesses and raising families and going to their day job and all the things that they're doing um, are literally wearing themselves out, right? You're burning the candle at both ends, and eventually it burns out. You burn out, right? You get overwhelmed and you don't want to do anything. So we want to prevent that from happening. We want you to continue to have momentum and excitement and passion for all the things that you're doing. And the best way for us to do that is by learning how to rest well. And I know don't turn the video off and think that I'm crazy. I promise you, it is worth it. So, what does rest look like in your business, or how do you implement rest in your business? First of all, there's nothing that you should be doing in your business that requires you to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's not one single thing. There is not an emergency in your business. There will never be an emergency in your business. And I don't think that we set out oftentimes to run our businesses that way, but you can work it whenever you want, right? And you can respond whenever you want. You can reach out whenever you want, and you can be available whenever you want. And if we don't have boundaries in place, then we get to a place oftentimes where somehow things have spiraled out of control, and you're working all the time and you're responding all the time and you're connected all the time. And it's just not good for your mind. It's not good for your body, and it's not good for your soul. So what's the alternative? Well, first, depending on where you are, let me rearrange. I'm going to sit on my knees. Depending on where you are in your business and what stage you are, maybe you've got some boundaries, but they're not quite there, or maybe you don't have any boundaries. But depending on where you are in your business, there need to be some boundaries. So what does that look like? It means that you set some times when you're just not going to respond. And yes, I'm talking about your customers too. It is okay for you to put a boundary in place. And I promise you that long term, your customers, your team members, everybody involved in your business will respect you more for the boundaries that you've placed in your life. Now, if you are someone who has had no boundaries, and there's just been, you're available whenever, you're going to respond whenever, it's going to take some time for you to reel that back in, and it's going to take a lot of communication for you to say, okay, I realize that this has gotten out of control, And here's why. And here's what's hurting because of it. Every single one of your yeses is a no to something else. Just want you to think about that for a minute. Every time you say yes to responding to a text, responding to a message, putting in an order, whatever you're doing, every yes is a no to something else. Don't ever forget that every choice you make is also a choice to say no to something. Okay? Is that your family? Is that your kiddos? What does that look like? For me, this looked like I was very, very, very much concerned with. I don't want to say I was very concerned with. I was just very intentional and trying to be very diligent about posting on social media and, telling the story of our lives and doing all the things. And I found myself more times than I cared to admit with my hand in my phone and my head down saying, just 1 second, baby. Just 1 second, baby. Mom will help you in just a second. And friends, if you're there, it's okay. We have all been there. But there has to come a point when you realize, oh, this yes is a no to this. And children are not a distraction from better things. They are the thing. They are the best thing. What's that C.S. Lewis quote? Oh, it's right here. Children are not a distraction from more important work. They are the most important work. So, but it's so easy for us to think, but I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. And when you get to that place or you recognize that in yourself, there's a lack of boundaries. So we need some boundaries. You decide what that looks like for you. I can't tell you what your boundaries should be. That's something you have to decide. For us, my team knows, they have known for years that after 4:00, when my kids get home, I'm pretty unavailable for most of the time. They may or may not get a response back from me. My customers know the same thing. Your life may look totally different than that, and your boundary may need to be someplace else. I used to work a lot at night, and I don't do that anymore. And granted, this is my job, and so I can work during the daytime on my business, yes, and not everybody has that luxury. So you have to decide what your boundaries are going to be for you and for your season of life. The other thing is, there should be a day, one whole day, every week when you don't touch your business. You don't think about it. You don't look at it. You don't track your numbers, gasp and awe. I know, oh my gosh, it's one day. It's 24 hours. There is something that happens when you start to slow down and disconnect and pull yourself away. There is this lifting and freeing that kind of allows your brain to go to this totally different place. You become more creative. You become more thoughtful. You start to dream about things in your business. But if you never, ever, ever step away from it, that never happens. You just get stuck in this kind of constant ebb and flow. And the other thing that happens is if you're working it all the time, nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even if it's not 24 hours a day, but it's 7 days a week, there's no deadlines. It's just, okay, I can do it tomorrow. I can do that tomorrow. I can do that tomorrow. I can do that. One of the things that practicing Sabbath has taught me in my personal life and in my business is that I know that on Sunday, I'm not touching anything. I am not doing the laundry. I'm not doing anything unless it's rest and worship. Play, rest, worship, but no work. Nothing that feels like work. So I do the dishes on Sabbath because I like to do the dishes. And I shouldn't say like, because here's the thing. Some of you will say, but I like working my business. I know you like working your business. But your brain and your soul and your body needs a break from it. And when you start to put a boundary in place and say, I'm not touching it on Monday, or I'm not touching it on Wednesday, I don't care what day it is. It doesn't matter what day it is. But there needs to be a day when you don't touch it and you don't think about it. I'm challenging you. I know you've got to be sitting on the other side of the screen thinking, you have lost your mind. Allison, you're crazy. But try it. Will you try it? Try it. I will tell you the first week will be hard. The first time we attempted to truly do Sabbath in our family, was, it made me crazy because I'm a doer and I'm a fixer and I like to make everything better all the time. And I did not know what to do with my hands. Literally, I'm a list maker, I'm a planner, and so all of those things though, when I plan and when I'm making lists, I'm thinking about all the things I need to be doing or should be doing. And that's the opposite of rest. So some of my rules are I do not make lists. I do not think about I don't plan anything, nothing. There's zero expectation. Zero. And that first time we tried it, I was like almost anxious. Like I don't know what to do. But here's where the magic comes. The rhythm that you get into of the more you do it, the more you spend a full day away from your business in true rest from your business. I know this may not look like I'm not asking for your whole entire life. I'm asking for a day away from your business. The more you do it and the more consistent you are, it should be the same day every week. Because here's why. There's a lot of talk about systems and processes, and all of those things are good. But I will tell you one of the most life-giving things about planning this day of rest is that it pushes you into rhythms in your business that are so life-giving. What do I mean by that? So for instance, like there's certain things I do every week for my business, right? There's certain things I do every month. There's things that have to be done. So when I know the hard stop is Saturday, I have to stop. It all needs to be done Saturday. Everything that's on my weekly to-do list all of a sudden now has a deadline. Instead of just getting pushed to the next week, I don't want to push it to the next week. I really want to rest on Sunday. So everything has a deadline now and everything has to get done. And the more you practice that, the more you'll see this rhythm fall into your business that is so incredibly life-giving, where you kind of fall into, this is the dance we're doing. This is the dance we're doing. And I know that Sunday's coming. And I know that Wednesday's coming. And I know whatever the day is. And hear me out. I am not saying that this is something that you need when you get tired of running your business or when you get burnout. I'm telling you, this is something you need now, regardless of where you are. Hopefully, even if you're excited and thrilled and have a million ideas, it's when you need rest right now from your business. There are too many people in our industry who leave because of burnout, and it's all avoidable. It's all avoidable. I know this sounds kooky and crazy and like there's no way that's going to fix it. I'm going to take a full day away from all of the things that I already need to get done. I'm not getting them done right now. Now you're asking me to take a full day away from that. There's no way. I promise you there's a way. I promise you the 6 days is better than 7. And I know that sounds crazy, but try it. Just try it. Just try it and see what happens. Now, you're going to need to communicate. You need to communicate with your team. You need to communicate with your customers. Like, hey, blame me. Say I challenged you. Say this. Listen, I watched this crazy YouTube video and this girl said, I don't care what you say, but communicate. You need to communicate, especially if you are the person who is completely available all the time, forever and ever. Amen. Because if you ghost people all of a sudden on a Wednesday, they're going to be like, oh, what happened? They're going to think something happened to you, right? So don't freak people out. Just communicate. I'm trying this. I got challenged to try this day of rest thing. And here's the thing. My challenge to you is try it for 2 to 3 weeks. It's not going to get fixed on the first week. Honestly, the first week's going to be hard and you're going to kind of maybe not like it because you're going to like be thinking of all the things you should be doing. That's not what it's for. You have to keep pressing into it and truly, truly rest. Just give your brain the space. I promise you, I am more creative, more effective, more productive. My time management is a gazillion times better because I know that Sunday's coming. And because I know I'm not touching my business, I'm not responding to a customer. I'm not doing anything. I'm not tracking my numbers. I'm not. Because 6 days are truly better than 7. Really, really, honestly, and truthfully. That's it. That's my challenge to you, is to put rest into your schedule, a full 24 hours off it from your business once a week. Pick a day that's going to work the best for you. Give it a try. If you're really brave, try it for a month. I really think if you try it for a month, you're going to see the most results. You will see your time. You will become so much more effective and efficient. And you're just going to breathe a little different. I promise you. Just try it. And when you do, I want to know. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, come back to this video and respond. Leave a comment, let us know what you tried. But I can give you all the hacks and the tips and the tricks in the world. And I'll continue to share my little hacks with you. But this one's the biggest one. This is the one that I think changes everything. And it's because it forces you into rhythms that will give you life, that will make you more effective and efficient. So I hope you try it. Rest. Rest from your business. That's what I'm asking you. I know it sounds crazy, but give it a try. Let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to you soon.